Hi everybody, it's Ann Patchett and Sparky Van Devender at Parnassus Books. Lindsay isn't here this morning, so I'm doing double duty and we've got a lot of things to talk about. This is the book that I'm buying today. It's called Shy. It's the memoir of Mary Rogers. It was on the front page of the New York Times Book Review yesterday. The most fabulous review, and Mary Rogers wrote Once Upon a Mattress. Her father wrote Oklahoma. She was just one of the all-time greats of musical theater. And the reason that I'm going to read this is because the reviewer said that it was even better than Act One, my all-time favorite book about playwriting and Broadway. So that's exciting. And this is a book that is absolutely everywhere. I can barely even say the title. It's by Jeanette McCurdy and it's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. I'm not going to read it, but everyone else in America is. Okay. And Map for the Missing, new novel, actually a debut novel by Belinda Hajang Tang. And it's a book about leaving this country to go back to China to find out what happened to the father and find out all about roots and family history, a little bit of a mystery. And out in paperback, I'm a big fan of Joy Harjo, and this is her memoir, Poet Warrior. And here is a book I actually read. Yes, Life on the Mississippi, an epic American adventure by Rinker Buck, and he wrote the book on the Oregon Trail, which was a #1 New York Times bestseller. This is all about the history of the Mississippi River, and it's also about the fact that Rinker Buck builds a raft and floats down the river himself. And it is more than anyone would ever want to know about the Mississippi River, but it's also really fascinating. And he comes across as the nicest guy in the world, which is why I just kept reading it, because he's the guy you'd want to be on a raft with. And last, but certainly not least, When Black Folk Could Fly. This is a collection of selected writing by Randall Keenan. Randall Keenan was a fabulous poet, truly wonderful man, and he died last year. He was at Vanderbilt for a while. I met him several times. Just a great, admirable soul. Tayari Jones wrote the new introduction, so check this out. Now, today, we have Andy, and he's going to talk about some nonfiction. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to tell you about great new biography that's out today by a good friend of the store, David Marinis, Path Lit by Lightning. David tells the story of Jim Thorpe, who might have been the greatest athlete who's ever lived. From Olympic athlete to pro football to basketball, not basketball, to football and baseball. But David fleshes out the rest of his life after his athletic pursuits, which is just equally fascinating. It's out today, and we're real excited because David will be here August the 25th in conversation with his son, Andrew. So we're looking forward to that. Path Lit by Lightning. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the passing of David McCullough, consummate historian and storyteller, just a fantastic, just does a fantastic job of telling America's story. You can pick up any of his books, from this one, 1776, back to his first about the Johnstown flood. If you want to read about what makes America great, pick up a copy of David McCullough's book. And now over to Elise, and she'll tell us about the coming events.
Hi everyone, thanks Sandy. So tonight, we have a couple of things tonight. In the store we have Addison Armstrong, and she is the author of The Light, Luna Park, and this is The War Librarian. And you know, she writes books about trailblazers and strong women, and she's just so great. We love her, and she's going to be, again, in the store tonight at 6:30, and then at 7, this is a virtual event, so you can do them both if you're really talented and can figure it out, but this one is at 7 o'clock. It's a virtual event. Colson Whitehead, the paperback of Harlem Shuffle, is out today, and he is always just amazing to hear speak. So even if you've read the book, I just read it a second time and it was equally as wonderful. Then, those are both tonight. Then Wednesday, we have Marianne Wiggins, and this is Properties of Thirst. And I just wanted to, there was a beautiful piece on her on public radio. It was an interview with Marianne and her daughter. And this is just a sweeping, history and family and love, and it's just beautifully written. This is going to be another virtual event, and this is on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So I tell you each week to go online, and you should. And what you should also do while you're online is go ahead and sign up for our e-newsletter, because then you know all the amazing events that are coming our way. And I just want to say, Andy mentioned David Marinus. We're going to have Nicholas Sparks and Barbara Kingsolver and Margot Price and so many others that I'm not remembering at this very second, but they're wonderful and you don't want to miss them. And I hope I see you at each and every one of them. And I'm going to turn it over to Rayanne.
Hi everybody. Today we have a debut YA novel from Nashville author Julian Vaca. This is The Memory Index. It's about a 1987 where memories are gold and you need artificial recall every day. I hope you'll go on Musing and read my interview with Julian and stop by the store and pick up a signed copy. If you're a middle grade reader and you like spooky books, maybe you've read the Small Spaces series. This is the last book in the series. I can just barely look at the cover. It's so scary. Empty Smiles is out today for middle grade horror readers. And picture book, Parfait, Not Parfait by Scott Rothman and Avery Monson. If you just want a fun read, we were reading this together the other day. Parfait, Not Parfait. And it goes on from there. It's such a fun book. How about Pizza, A Slice of History by Greg Pizzoli, by one of my favorite illustrators, about one of my favorite foods. Greg does such a great job of taking nonfiction for kids and making it fun. I hope you'll pick up this book. And if you haven't read In the Wild Light by our friend Jeff Sidner, it's out in paperback today, and Jeff will be coming by to sign copies. Now is a great time to pick this up. Thanks for listening, and thanks for shopping at Parnassus.